Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Social Media Summit Retail Edition from AgoraPulse. My name is Jeffrey Thomas. I'm the direct response copywriter with Marketing Profs. And today you are here for Grow or Sell, how to target the right audience in your social media marketing. I got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. All right, here we are. Grow or Sell, targeting the right audience in your social media. What we're going to cover today are secrets in direct response marketing and structures that are responsible for billions of dollars in sales in the publishing industry, health industries, information, catalog orders, and more. The biggest drivers in human psychology that is not pain or pleasure, and why it matters. And we'll give you a handful of tried and true social media post ideas so that you can take one, adapt it for your specific business, and post. And you can just cycle through those all month long. Is this information for you? The information we're going to cover today is for social media marketers who want to grow your social media presence and your revenue without competing with big brand advertising, the likes of which Nike or Apple or someone along those lines do. We'll get into that a little. Marketers do not feel like their ads are connecting with the audience and want to understand why. If this is you and you want to fix it, I hope I can provide some information and guidance for you today. Finally, this is for marketers who struggle to come up with social media post ideas. Like I said, take one from our list, you can update it and post. What can you expect after today's session? Well, you'll begin to see what different ads are doing and why they work or don't work, and you can apply this to your own marketing. You'll begin to approach your own ads and social media posts differently with an intent to either grow your follower count or sell to your followers, because they are not the same thing. And you will increase your ad response because you know now how to target buyers. Who am I? Who's Jeffrey G. Thomas? I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. I worked in computer security and IT for 16 years, where I developed a systematic approach to problem solving. I started email marketing part-time in 2016 with a friend, got some clients, and I went full-time freelance in 2019. I joined the talented team at Marketing Profs in 2021, and I'm the direct response copywriter there. I encourage you to join us. And where did Jeffrey get my ideas? Where did I get these ideas? Today's presentation is a distillation of a small but very important part of Eugene Schwartz's book called Breakthrough Advertising. In this book, he he discusses 5 levels of a customer awareness and 5 levels of market sophistication. And where these overlap is where you are going to want to target your marketing. These ideas are then expanded upon in the book Great Leads by Michael Masterson and John Ford. I highly recommend both of these books if you're interested in direct response marketing, and there will be some resources and additional information at the end of the presentation for details on that. First, what is direct response marketing? If you're not familiar with direct response is not a meaningless slogan. It's not a big sign with your company logo on it, and it is not an ad that talks about your company's success. For example, this Americu Credit Union ad on the screen here reads, "Create a meaningful connection with Americu." That's meaningless to me. Americu is where I share my dreams, my goals, and my challenges with those who know me best. Does your credit union know you best? Better than your own mother? Kind of don't think so. So I would say that's a pretty meaningless ad. So what is direct response marketing? Direct response marketing is something that targets your customers' needs and desires. It highlights the benefits of your solution or your offer, and then it directs the customer on how to respond, the next step to take, because we can't expect busy people to know the next step, right? A long time ago when direct response was in its more formative years, it would be cutting out a coupon, filling it out, and mailing it in, for example. If you want this free guide or you want to buy something, you'd have to cut it out. You'd have to they tell you, cut this coupon, mail it to this address. Do it now. You have to direct the response. Here are some ad examples. This Reebok ad on the left, I would say, is not direct response. It reads, "After 30 years in the game, we're calling out our classic sneakers by their first names, introducing Club C Revenge." Okay, what's the benefit for me? What need does it target or desire? The one on the right, I would say, is a direct response ad. It's from Parkway Shoe Repair Services, and it reads, "Step into a realm where your comfort and well-being come first. Explore work booth, orthotics, and diabetic shoes tailored to you. Discover your perfect fit today." The number one rule in direct response marketing is what's in it for me. You've probably heard about this. What's in it for me, the reader, the customer. Most of your posts should be written to benefit you, the customer. Use the word you. Talk to the customer directly. Not you, the business, but you, the customer, is who you want to celebrate. Here are those ad examples again. After 30 years in the game, we're calling out our classic sneakers by their first names. Introducing Club C Revenge. What's in it for me? Nothing. The one on the right, step into a realm where your comfort and well-being come first. Whose comfort and well-being? You, the customer. Explore work boots, orthotics, and diabetic shoes tailored to you. Discover your perfect fit today. Those, I would say, are much more in alignment, those statements, with direct response than the Reebok ad. Beware of space ads. This is what the Reebok ad is. A lot of big companies use this. They take up a lot of space, but they tell the reader nothing. It's used by a lot of top industry brands to keep awareness of their brands and their products. It's aspirational for customers to become part of a group. It speaks to their identity, such as this Apple Vision Pro. If you want to be a futuristic skier, well, that's your identity. I guess go buy an Apple Vision Pro. If you want to be an underdog like Roger Federer, I guess, go buy some Nike. It takes a lot of money to compete in this space. There's no what's in it for me in the space ads. The only thing that really is maybe motivation or aspiration to be part of an identity. As a smaller business, I recommend that you are smarter in your approach. Target the actual needs and wants of customers with your solution solves, the problem that your solution solves. All right, let's look at Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of customer awareness. It starts out as somebody who's unaware that there's a problem at all. It's going to be the largest group of people in the world, but because they're unaware, you're going to have to spend a lot of time and money trying to educate them that this is even a real problem. Once they become aware of and don't do that. Once they become aware of a problem, they're problem aware. Okay, they know there's a problem. Maybe they're doing some research to solve it or to look into it, learn more about it. After a while, they become solution aware. Solution aware means that they're aware there are solutions on the market, in the market in general. Product aware means they're aware of your specific product. And most aware means they're aware of your specific product, possibly your price. They're intimately familiar with your company, right? Those are about the buyer. Then we have sophistication levels, 5 levels of sophistication. When an ad first comes out, a company makes a claim. We sell 5 types of tools. Well, it's easy to beat that claim with saying we sell 6 types of tools. And then the next company sells 8 types of tools. Claims just get bigger and bigger. After a while, that does not really work in the market anymore. So you start to use a mechanism. Instead of saying we sell more tools, more brands, more whatever, you'd say we sell 5 types of tools, all with a 10-year guarantee or warranty, right? We sell shoelaces that never ever wear out because they're made of stainless steel, whatever it is. Your mechanism is the thing that makes you stand out. Once everybody in the marketplace starts to use a mechanism, you need to expand on your mechanism so that yours stands out even further. Now, this is going to differ depending on the channel and your audience, right? So the people on LinkedIn might be solution aware that there are solutions out there for car repair, right? But the people in LinkedIn, the people on Instagram might be product aware. They might be very specifically familiar with your product. So you're going to want to look at your different channels and tailor your approaches differently, perhaps based on the channels. It's also important to get this information. You're going to research your own ads to see where on this grid they might fall into, if anywhere. And if they don't, then that's kind of a problem. And also research your competitors' ads, because they're going to be the ones who are making a claim or using a mechanism, and you're going to move further on that list of sophistication. So if they're making a claim, you can go ahead and make a bigger claim. But after a while, that's not going to work. So you're going to want to start using a mechanism. Then everyone's going to use a mechanism. Then you have to expand on it, right? The identity is for people who are aware of a product or a product and price. And that's awareness campaigns that big brands use. Again, don't play there. It's expensive. You need deep pockets. It's a never-ending game. Target your customers' actual needs. So again, what's a mechanism? In direct response marketing, A mechanism is the unique thing that makes your solution a real problem solver. A larger claim is not a real problem solver. A real problem solver would be that you have a unique caloric inhibitor to your health supplement, or yours is the only device to do this, or your solution gives customers 7 ways to solve a problem, or your restaurant sells a flame broiled sandwich that nobody else has, or your store is able to offer lower prices because you have no middleman, or your new product helps people get rich in 5 days. Your mechanism is a lever. It's how your solution or your product does it. How does it solve the problem? And once everybody in your market starts to use a mechanism, you have to expand on your mechanism, such as you have a caloric inhibitor, so does everyone else, but yours has a unique atomic structure, or yours is the only device to solve a problem while also solving another problem, or yours is a flame broiled sandwich that, okay, maybe a few other people have it, but now you have a special sauce, or there's no middleman. Yeah, but maybe other people have that too. So now you are offering 24/7 service, something along those lines. So your expanded mechanism is how you're solving a problem differently. A mechanism is solving it differently, but this is like expanding it further. All right, so we want to address the customer, use the word you, what's in it for me? How do we grow with these concepts? Social media is a low trust environment. Anybody can be out there saying that they have solutions to problems, but when you want to grow, you have to provide value. You're not trying to sell your solutions, you're providing value to the customer and to the audience. You can do that through entertainment, through variety, through some sort of motivational information or quotes. You can help build connections between your audience members. To grow a community, you can offer some sort of nostalgia. Maybe your company was founded in 1995 and this Smash Mouth song was at the top of the charts. You could talk about tips for time and money saving. It's some sort of way to provide value to the customer. Do not hard teach. Do not give away your company's information or your products, the way that they could solve it. Because if you hard teach, they might think they know enough to go on without you and solve it. If you're giving, say, a recipe away for the sandwich that they can only buy in your store, why would you do that, right? So according to the Harvard Business Review, they've come up with 30 elements of value. I highly recommend you Google this because these are what you're going to want to hit on in your growth posts. Functional value, such as a way to save time or save money or make money or give them information or reduce hassles. There could be emotional value that you provide, which could be fun or entertainment. It could just be a joke every now and again. It could be some sort of wellness information, like I mentioned earlier, nostalgia. There could be life-changing value, such as motivation or affiliation and belonging. Right? So these are 30 different ways to provide value, and none of them, no matter what you sell, has to compromise the quality or the asking price of what you're selling. So how to grow. If you want to grow on social media, you want to write as if your audience has never heard of you. You don't matter. It's your valuable message that matters. Because remember, they are solution aware. They're aware of their solutions in the market, but not necessarily aware of you. So pretend like they've never heard of you. You want to use an irresistible factor of curiosity to keep people reading and then clicking. Curiosity is more powerful than pain or pleasure if you're not invested, right? If somebody's health or finances are on the line, pain and pleasure are certainly very motivating. But in social media, that's not always the case. So instead, you want to use curiosity to drive them into your site or to your web, to your content or whatever it might be, right? Finally, you want to highlight your mechanism to stand apart from your customers. So looking at Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of buyer awareness and 5 levels of market sophistication, you want to grow. You want to target people who are problem aware or solution aware. They don't know about you, but you want to, as much as possible, use some sort of mechanism to either highlight why your product or service is great, or possibly even why just the social media post is great, right? It could be a joke. That's a mechanism that other people aren't using. So let's review. They've never heard of you. You can use curiosity and context to keep people reading and clicking, and a mechanism to stand apart from your competitors. So what does that look like? All right. Here we have Likes Accounting Company. She writes, accounting sucks when you don't have help. Stop worrying about things like payroll or taxes and start relaxing. That speaks directly to the pain of her audience, right? Accounting sucks if you don't have help. Probably true. And then she has a little funny joke. Accounting isn't stressful at all, says John, who's apparently 25 years old. That's entertainment. In the middle, we've got a motivational quote. Happy Monday, everyone. What are your goals for the week ahead? Let's share them in the comments below and uplift each other to crush our goals. Together, we've got this. That's motivational, right? There's very little about the accounting company itself, but it gives people a motivational feel good boost. The very final one is for Cause for Paws Pet Food Bank. Pets are family too. And there's a video of a guy pushing a dog in a baby swing, right? People love this stuff. It makes them feel good. It's entertaining. It's curiosity invoking on occasion. That's what you want from your growth posts. You're not trying to sell in these posts. So how do you sell on social media? First, you got to pick your targeting. Wide targeting has the lowest ROI because people haven't heard from you. Again, that's the best for growth, but you can pay for it. It's best for growth unless you're selling a commodity. If you are a corner grocery store, corner gas station, if there's a million people selling exactly the same thing you're selling, they don't necessarily need to have heard of you to know that you can feed them, right? But if you are not quite a commodity, then you need to target your audience for people who are solution aware. They are aware of their solutions on the market for their problems, even if they've not heard of you. Or if they have heard of you, they would be product aware or most aware, and hopefully that means they're following you. That's going to be your highest ROI because you don't have to pay to reach those customers if they're already following you, right? So let's back up a little. For wide targeting, it's the same as the growth tactic, except that you're backing it with money. You're writing as if your audience has never heard of you. Your message matters. You're using context and curiosity to keep people reading and a mechanism to stand apart. This is going to give you the widest exposure, but it's the lowest trust because people haven't heard of you. Therefore, it's the lowest ROI. Narrow targeting is people who have a problem who may or may not know about you, but there's going to be more buyers in there because they're willing to try something new to solve their problem. In an instance like this, you want to use the PAS formula. There's lots of copywriting formulas out there, but this is a very famous one, a common one. You identify the problem, you agitate the problem, then you offer a solution on the other end of this click, right? So it could be accounting sucks when you don't have help, especially if it keeps you up all night. And then what's the solution? Why don't you click here to see how we can help you, right? There's not really a mechanism in that. There should be. What's the mechanism or expanded mechanism that you can use? And then for your followers, they're going to be product aware. They're aware of your product, or most aware. They're aware of your product and price point. These are people that follow you. They already know, like, and trust you, so it doesn't cost you anything to post to them. You already have a relationship with your reader. It's going to be your highest ROI. But like always, you're going to do better with a unique mechanism or an expanded mechanism, because just because you offer one solution to their problem doesn't mean that they're not following others or looking into others who are also offering that same solution. So you need to stand out with a mechanism or an expanded mechanism. So we already went through the 4 squares of growth, but if we want to sell, we're going to look at solution aware audiences, product aware audiences, or most aware audiences, and we're going to use a mechanism to get there. You can make bigger claims, like I said earlier, but there's not really like a reason to buy from you just because you have a bigger selection. It doesn't mean you're offering the very thing that they want, right? So you have to find a way to put your product or solution into a category of one. All right, so some quick examples. Wide targeting. Entertainment value for this one on the left, it's a Twitter post from George 10. He tells you a story, and then he tells you how it's going to help you because you can copy his approach, right? The first client I ever landed paid me $15,000 a month, and I knew nothing about marketing. And yet I spent only 3 hours a week working on his business. Here's the juicy story and how you can copy me. Narrow targeting in the middle. The value that they're offering is time saving. And the mechanism is that the food is ready. It's Yorkshire's finest pet food. There's a video showing all this pre-packaged food and toys that were all just ready. The mechanism is that it's ready for you. Of course, you can get pet food anywhere, but this is like a one meal prepackaged solution. And then on the right, follower targeting. It's money saving is the value there. You can get a $10 off plus free delivery. The mechanism is that it's free delivery, right? Not everybody offers delivery. Not everyone offers free delivery. Plus, if you notice, it says, we love our customers. All right, so an expanded mechanism just takes that mechanism and makes it more complicated or more unique because other people in the marketplace are already using a similar mechanism. So, for example, wide targeting. This is for AG1 on the left. It's a powdered vegetables, basically, right? They are telling you the value they're providing is wellness, and their expanded mechanism is that it's a unique blend of 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients with prebiotics and probiotics. That's pretty unique. The narrow targeting would be a convenience value. Their expanded mechanism is that it's a fast and wireless phone charger. Sure, there might be other fast phone chargers or other wireless phone chargers, but this is fast and wireless. Doesn't mean they're completely unique in this expanded mechanism, but they're not just saying it's cheaper or some sort of weak claim, right? They actually have a reason that you would want to buy it. Finally, the last one is targeting your followers. It is the value it provides is about access. Most small businesses struggle to close deals with large brands. I've won over 150 contracts with billion-dollar brands. Here are the 6 tactics they won't teach you in business school. So the expanded mechanism is the mechanism is 6 tactics, but the expanded mechanism is 6 tactics that you won't learn in school, right? Where are you going to get it? Only from this Brian Cristiano character. All right, that's kind of what I got for today. There's a little more coming, but we covered a lot today. First direct response rule number 1 is what's in it for me? If you notice back to that George 10 thing about his first marketing client, it was a story about him, right? But he was spun it so that it's what's in it for you, the reader. We covered Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of awareness and 5 levels of sophistication from his book, Breakthrough Advertising. We covered the levels to target in your growth posts and ads and the levels to target in your sales posts and ads. And we talked about why you should avoid space ads and identity plays. It's just too deep of pockets. Finally, we discussed the largest driver in human psychology. Yes, it's pain and pleasure, but if you don't have any skin in the game, there's no risk, then it's going to be curiosity. So tap into curiosity so that people click to see what's on the other side of your post. All right, here are the post ideas that I offered for your growth posts. You can post about time or money tips. You can give polls to your audience. You can highlight a customer's win. You can post feel-good photos, pets, families, things like that. You can tease content, and then they have to click through to see what's on the other side to get to that content. You could have a quiz that people have fun participating in. You can ask engaging questions. You can provide motivational quotes. You can highlight one of your own employees and tell a story about that person. You could take customer questions and provide answers. You could do some sort of nostalgia marketing. You could use entertaining memes. The whole idea is that you're providing value because people haven't heard of you. So you're just trying to get out there, get them to enjoy it, repost it, and maybe follow you. And remember, your sales posts are targeting product aware and most aware customers. They already know your specific product. They already trust you. So you have to focus for them on the benefits of your solution. All right, these are the resources. Breakthrough Advertising at breakthroughadvertising.com. Great leads book at AWAI. Just Google that if you don't want to type out that thing. 30 Elements of Value Pyramid. It's Googleable from the Harvard Business Review. Got a bunch of ads from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want this slide deck and other information, go to bit.ly/grow-or-sell, or go ahead and scan that QR code right down here. Thanks for joining me at AgoraPulse Social Pulse Summit Retail Edition. I'd love to hear what you thought about today's session. I'm always learning. I'd love to know what you found to be useful or insightful, where I went wrong, what I could do better, how I can help you, anything like that. Find me, Jeffrey G. Thomas, on Twitter at Proven Copy, on LinkedIn at Jeffrey-Thomas-Marketing. And Marketing Profs, my employer, has a great big event coming up this November live in Boston. It's called the B2B Forum. We're going to have dozens of experts presenting on topics very near and dear to B2B marketers' hearts. There's going to be hundreds of marketers in attendance. It's a great event, a really good way to make connections, get inspired, learn all about B2B marketing, what's working today, new ideas, help you to move up in your career. It's fantastic. I hope to see you there. If you'd like to join us, you can save $100 with the code SOCIALPULSE. You visit mpb2b.marketingprofs.com. All right, that's all I got for today. But I really, again, want to thank you, and I want to thank everyone at the Agora Pulse for throwing the Social Pulse Summit Retail Edition. Hope you have a great day.